What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. So here we are. We had the move up that we were looking for, right to about 84, right in that range. The reason we were looking for that is from a low to a high here was I was expecting on this move down we would find support here and then move up, but we didn't. We went below to the 886, 786, and this indicates that, or implicates at least, that we would go lower. Because we didn't find support at the golden ratio, I was then expecting we likely will find resistance, and well, here we are, and rejecting down to the 886, picking up volume on this move down, guys. It's looking like we are, in fact, going to 74.2K, 72.2K, somewhere in that area. I'm very confident that we do stop here. I'm not so confident that we go below 70K to $69,000. That is at the 1618, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but there's something that I noticed yesterday, and I want to go over it with you guys now. It might play out, it might not. And of course, I'm not talking about the butterfly pattern. We have the butterfly. If you guys are unaware of what that is, this is a bullish harmonic pattern, right? It looks like this, and it ends somewhere down in this area here, technically, between the 1272 and the 1618. So that's why this is our accepted kind of area to find support at, right? But beyond the bullish butterfly, which I very much think is in effect, and I think that that's going to be our guide when it comes to bottoming out and bouncing higher, there's something that I noticed, maybe on a daily time frame, on a daily time frame here. If we look at this pattern and we compare it to another pattern here that I noticed on another crypto, and I'm not saying that it has to be exactly like this, but it's something that I noticed, and they were very eerily similar to each other. Okay, if we go all the way back, where were you? We'll find it. It'll stand out like a sore thumb, right? Let's see. Is that it? That's it right there, right? You see it? Do you see it? Right? Look at this. Doesn't this look just like, even with the drop and all? Doesn't it look just like this on Bitcoin? Like doesn't this? It's not the exact same. Don't get me wrong, right? But don't they look similar? It's like you've got this like seagull look, and then you just dipped down here. It's a diamond pattern. It's a diamond top of sorts, right? But you have the same thing here. It's kind of seagull look, and then you just drop down right there. Guess what? They're actually very, very similar. They're not just similar in the look. If you take this low here, the low of the pattern, to the high, Bitcoin went down to its 1618. That's where whenever you broke out, it went down there very fast, and that's where you found support. And then you came up a little bit, right? Compound did not come up a little. I guess it did come up a little bit, to be completely fair. Like right here, it did come up a little bit, but maybe not as high as Bitcoin did on its retracement. But from a low here to a high, you did bounce right off the golden ratio. Golden ratio bounce, right? Where Compound then went, after it bounced, it actually went to its 100, where Bitcoin went a little bit through that, and that's fine. Compound didn't have United States crypto reserve status that led to this very volatile movement here. But it did continue to go lower to its 1886, and that's where it found support, and then bounced from there and continued to run up, right? Literally right there. So it is performing similarly to a certain degree, at least on these fib extensions for support. What if Bitcoin goes to its 1886? Well, coincidentally, maybe not so coincidentally, that 1886 is, and the 200 zone, which is, this is normally where you find support if you're going to stop at the 1886. It's somewhere between these two areas here. It's more of a zone, less of a specific perfect price. From this, not this high, sorry. From this high, or that low. No, I had it backwards. I'm sorry, guys. From this low to this high, the 1272 to 1414 area is right in this area. It matches up with the bullish butterfly that we're looking for perfectly. I don't know. Will history repeat itself? It's a totally different chart. It's not the exact same looking, but can you see it? Am I crazy? Doesn't it make sense a little bit? I feel like it does. Maybe you find support in the same area. The 1886 200 zone comes in line pretty well with this prior area of resistance here. It's a nice area to find support at. Prior area of resistance here as well. Checking back with that and finding support, that's not a bad thing. That's actually really good market structure. And I do believe that we are going to find support there. Of course, we could go lower. The 2272 is all the way down here, and who's to say that you can't go lower than that, right? Just because of this comparison, that doesn't mean that you're absolved of going lower. You absolutely could. But I'm thinking more so, I'm very confident that we do stop between $74,500 to about $72,800. Just on the similarity alone, and then also the respected fibs, respected prior areas of resistance, and then of course the butterfly pattern that we assume to be playing out here. We are moving lower, my friends. We will likely go right below 75K, just above 74K, if not something that is still above 72K is what we're looking for, right? $80,000 now. And afterwards, right, if you notice how it found its bottom, it took days, took a few days, and then it ripped to the upside. And that, where it ripped to, was actually through where you broke out from. So I would expect, in a matter of no time at all, whenever we do find this low, which is fast approaching, my friends. I mean, we're on the 4-hour time frame. It's going to happen this week, likely, that we're at 74 to 72K. Prepare yourselves, all right? It'll probably happen just as fast as it is over. We will likely pull back to the breakout point, which is all the way back up at $96,500 right up here, right? And once we do that, it's not that we've necessarily confirmed that this is the low, but depending on where the low is, and I don't know if it's appropriate to do this from a high to a low here. Let's just say you were to go to like $74,000 right around there. You know, that breakout point would take us above the golden ratio, and if we can find support and get through our golden ratio on the first attempt, that doesn't necessarily mean we have to have our bottom, but it's starting to look good for the bottom, right? Ultimately, we'll need to show some productivity on the fibs. If we find resistance at the golden ratio area, we need to find support at the 0.5 and then get back above the golden ratio. If we see a maneuver like that, resistance at the golden ratio, support at the 0.5, and then back through the golden ratio, this is a confirmed low. If we find resistance here, we go to the 382 and then get back through the golden ratio, confirmed low. If we get above the golden ratio, we don't stop there, and then we pull back and find support there, it is a confirmed low. But there's a couple of requirements that have to happen besides just price goes up before we're convinced that this is the low, right? Just like back here, I was excited. I thought that was the low. I kept saying that I was very confident it was the low, but we were waiting on confirmation, and we did not have confirmation yet. This is why confirmation is very important. Don't get me wrong, I was bullish. I thought this was the low. I really did think that we were going to continue to move up. I was expecting 100K by yesterday, you know, like a week ago. That's what the call was. But over the past few days, we've changed that call, obviously. But here we are now at $80,200, essentially, looking like we are right about to see the end of this move coming into play. Fear is at an all-time high for the market cycle. We haven't seen levels of fear this high at all. I'm sure I'm not the only person pointing this out. 17 is that? I don't know. We'll probably drop it down to 13, right? A nice little unlucky number of 13 there. And then once we see this fear and greed turn around, once we see the price turn around, we will likely be recovering. And I think it'll happen like this in a very, very short amount of time. Whenever it does come time to recover. And since we don't have this low, I'm not going to use that fib. We're going to build off of this fib here from a high to a low. We've hit the 1886, double topped it right there. And again, oftentimes you do find resistance at this zone. It's like the 1886 to 200 area. It's not any specific line. It's just in that zone. That's why they're right there. The 200's not actually a fib, but I put it there because oftentimes you do go a little bit through it. Just like the 69's not a fib, because oftentimes you do go a little bit through the 618. You don't stop right at it, but sometimes you do. But here we are. Right? Oftentimes, if you are finding support at the 1272, that's perfect. That would look great. But because you haven't found support at the 1272, it looks like you're going lower. The next area would be the 100 to 886 area, which is 73.7K to 70.4K. Another reason why I don't think we're going below 70K in itself. But maybe we do go a little bit below 74K. I really don't believe we break below 72.3K or whatever that number was from this. Let's see, from this 1886. 72.8K. I don't believe we go below 72.8K. That's my personal call. But anything between 74.5 to 72.8 is free game. I like the idea. I think that we might just go just below 74K. Whenever it does come time to moving higher, once we're done with this and we're looking to build, the next target area at a minimum would be the 2272, which is at 123K, right? Oftentimes with the 2272, you do go a little bit through it, okay? So don't be surprised if we make a run right up to 130K after this. But inevitably, I think that we will continue until we hit the money zone. I made it orange colored because that's the color of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's the color of money these days, you guys. Or at least it's the new gold standard. 158K, 173K, that's the target area ultimately by the end of this move. I've seen a couple people, and maybe they'll be right? There's some TAs that I respect in the space who have been saying that this next move will be smaller than the last move. They're saying that what we had here, and I don't even think they're actually, are they taking it? They would take it from, they have taken it from this low. So from this low to this high, that's how they've measured it. They're saying that if we move up, and they're actually calling for us to find support here and not move down, but I think that we do go down. But if this were to be a smaller move, that would mean that we're going to stop at under 162K. I don't know why people are saying that. Oftentimes, and these guys that I respect, I'm not going to say their names because I'm not trying to throw flack, but there's some OGs in the space, and they're calling for this move to be smaller than the next one, and or than the last one. It doesn't make sense to me, because if you are an OG, if you've been in the bull cycles before, you know damn well that the moves up, they only get stronger. They only get stronger. They don't get weaker. They only get stronger, you guys. If we're looking at this and from a move perspective in itself, I'm not taking it from the low, but just from the move itself, from this low to this high right here, probably this high before you started to consolidate, that's a 46% move. From this low to this high, because that's basically the move itself, that's a 47% move. This, it's kind of in the consolidation phase, doesn't really count. From this low here to this high here, that's a 68% move. It's getting bigger, right? From this low here to this high, you're seeing a 91% move. This one is a little bit smaller than this one, and that's why I think it threw off a lot of people. I really do believe we were supposed to go higher. Maybe we weren't. Theories aside, maybe not. But where this move started, I don't know. Did it start down here? It's very possible that it could have. It started here, something like that. If it started at this low, all the way up to that high, that's a 105% move. It is getting bigger overall. And again, not the actual low, but just like where the move began, moving up here. These moves are getting bigger as time goes on, and I would only anticipate that continues, because that's exactly what happens every single bull cycle. We get bigger moves as it continues to grow, right, in a shorter amount of time. So where we are from 70, probably just below 74K right here, right, I would expect to see a move that is overall greater than 105%. At the rate of growth, maybe we could expect like 120% or more, right, and 120% or more would take us to about 162K. Or higher, right? And that is right in the money zone, 158 to 173K. I don't know, something like that. We'll see how it goes. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Anything could happen. Hell, we could stop at the $141,000, $142,000 area right there at the 2618 for all I care. That could happen, but likely we do. I think ultimately by the end of April, if not likely sometime in May at this point, we will see prices just below 200,000, but just above 160K. That's what I'm expecting, okay? I got nothing else for you guys. Prepare yourselves, my friends. Steel your nerves, all right? Stay your emotions. Do not fear. We are at the end of this move. It's coming. It's, as far as price goes, yes, you've got more to go. Okay, but as far as time goes, we're right there, guys. We're right there. It's a matter of days before this whole nightmare of a downtrend is over. And when I say nightmare, I just mean it's taken so damn long, right? The hardest part is not the drop. If this drop happened back here, great, whatever. Volatility, we're about it. Find support, wicked, great. But whenever you have this boring sideways movement where you've got people yelling at the top of their lungs, it's going down, it's going up. I was one of the it's going up guys up until recently, right? And then even here, I was still thinking that we were going to go up, but then changed my mind. Luckily, just in time before the drop there. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind, right? But it is. I think it's nice, obviously, to change your mind before the price proves you wrong. Because if you're not expecting the price to go down and then it proves you wrong, that can have an impact on you emotionally sometimes. And even with your emotions, you have to stay yourself. You have to not act on them. Do not act on your emotions. Act on the charts. Act on what we know. The bull market is not over, you guys. We have a little bit lower to go, just a little bit, and then we're going to go up from here, okay? New all-time highs are right around the corner. It wouldn't surprise me at all if by the end of the month of March, we were at new all-time highs. Time will tell. I did say 137K by the end of this month a few days ago. I don't think that prediction is going to happen, but maybe we get there. Likely we are around our all-time highs, if not above our all-time highs by the end of the month of March. And then going into April, we will be seeing these targets that are deeper into the 100K area. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I'm actually going to do one more thing before we move on here, okay? Because, yeah, you're going to be forming bullish divergence on your daily RSI. That's nice, right? Weekly RSI is getting to the lowest reads that it's been. You probably don't even actually close the week down. I bet that you do recover, so it'll be around this area, if not higher, probably by the end of the week. That's my expectation. I think we'll get a big wick to the downside. I don't like how it's got this gap on the index, man. They need to fix that. TradingView, they will fix it, but it makes the chart look so ugly. I want to use the Coinbase chart for that reason. Right? That's how it should look. For some reason, the index one always throws it off. Does that throw off the RSI too? I think it does, actually. It does throw off the RSI, doesn't it? A little bit. I'm not 100% sure. It shouldn't, though. It shouldn't. Anyways, whatever. We're looking for these, right? We're going to look for these here. These guys. Yes, yes. I'm going to delete some of these indicators because we don't need all of them. We don't need accumulation distribution. Kind of sucks. MFI is fine, but if we have the RSI, it's not really relevant necessarily. The RSI is better anyways. I need to zoom this out because the MACD is a fickle thing. You just see how much I'm zooming it out, man. Boom, there we go. Now we're starting to see some life. Okay. So the LRO is saying that we are in a downtrend. Stochastics are finally getting to the oversold area, which means that we're coming to the end of this move, hopefully. 3-day time frame, a little bit of bullish divergence on the stochastics, building bearish momentum on the 3-day time frame, which would indicate that we do have lower to go. Daily time frame here, also building bearish momentum, looking like we have lower to go as well. And the RSI, it's looking like it's postured in a good position to find support, but just when will you do it, right? I would expect that you do find a higher low, but you likely do get into the oversold zone, again indicating we have lower to go. And the stochastics freshly crossing into the oversold area, a little bit lower to go, my friends. So all that checks out. Hit the like button, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. And be prepared, man. Today might be dump day. I would think over the next few days we will have this move resolved. We'll see how it goes. And by the way of the LRO here, the area that we're looking to break above is about 89.1 thousand. You guys know the area that I'm excited to break above would be more about 91K, but anywhere in here, 89.2, 91.2, something in that area. That's where I'm expecting. If and when we break through this will likely implicate that we are going higher, right? We've got more work to do before we certify that we're at a low, but this area here is very, very important to break whenever it does come time to breaking out higher relative to the LRO, relative to the butterfly pattern, relative to a bunch of different things. Okay, take it easy. I'm gone for real this time. Bye.